Hello, everyone. It is Houston Open Week, and we are breaking down our outright card here today. A little bit different format, more of a short form video, so that everyone who wants to get our bets in but don't want to hear us ramble on about Jordan Spieth can still
Arsenal.
listen without wasting too much of their day. And of course, we'll have videos every week as well after tournaments discussing our thoughts, which you can watch if you'd like. But we're
And
going to
during
get
the
right
tournament.
into it. Um, it's a bigger card this week. We have eight outrights and really only one at the lower ends of the odds board, depending if you consider 33 to 1. I'd consider that in the mid range. But Ryan, you can
Well,
get us
he
going with those top two. So
yeah, so number one selection, and we had like a mock card out for a day or so, and this name was not on it. And then the Scotty news, I actually believe we pivoted to Jake Knapp, who was our first selection at 26 to 1 before the Scotty withdraw even broke. Um, I think beginning of the week we had a little hesitation towards Jake Knapp because of the back injury, of course. He took some time off from what was his last start, the Genesis Invitational, to the Players Championship, where he missed the cut at the Players. But if you look at his everything else this season before the Players, it's been top 10, top 10, top 10. It's been great play. It's been bombing it off the tee, which that's going to be a massive theme of this card, obviously. If you're not betting your golf outright picks this week with somebody who's got massive distance off the tee, you're just putting yourself behind an eight ball instantly. So I am of the belief that Jake Knapp is going to win this year quite soon. I'm of the belief that the Players is a really tough place to make your comeback, even if it was like a 3-4 weeks off or whatever it was. But right after an injury, that's just not optimal. I don't put too much stock into that miscut performance at the Players. I think there's a good chance he picks up right where he left off at the Genesis Invitational. Weaker field, no Scotty Scheffler. Great putter as well. I didn't realize like his number one attribute on Data Golf is not his driving distance; it's his putting, which is just not something I mentally correlate with Jake Knapp. I knew he was a good putter, but that good of a putter is shocking. He wouldn't be my if I had one pick to win this golf tournament. He wouldn't be my pick. I think honestly, he wins a bigger tournament down the road in the summer. But I do like his chances this week. My one pick would be Nikolai Højgaard.
that I was gonna say that's my pick to win off this card as well.
Did you take Nikolai in triple double on your other Go Get That podcast?
Um, to be frank, I forgot. I think I did. Oh no, I didn't because Jordan. I think
Jordan
someone.
took him. Okay.
I'll get back to that with a confirmation though. You can
Okay. But yeah, Nikolai Højgaard is somebody who we bet on a lot. He lets us down, quite frankly, a good amount of times. But we're just going to go back into the well. He has three top sixes in 2026. I knew he was playing okay. I did not realize it was that high quality of golf. He doesn't have a miscut in 2026. One of those was a really big backdoor at the cog. But hey, a T6 is a T6. They don't
yeah.
hand out those very often.
Yeah,
It's a little bit of a trend down
I don't
his
think people
last few
understand how
weeks.
well he's really playing.
Yeah,
And
it's
for
T.
confirmation, I did pick him. I took him,
Oh,
Gary, and Thor.
nice.
Um,
Thor.
well, you want to take your worser players in the smaller events.
It's fair. It's very fair. It's very fair. I think Thor plays well.
I do
Thor
too.
was probably our last cut. He was replaced by Jake Knapp, or he was replaced by Jake Knapp. Found his way back onto the card. Scotty Scheffler withdraws, and then he was replaced again by somebody that Bob is going to talk about in just 1 second. But again, Nikolai, a bomber off the tee. He's actually a really great approach player. He's more of a all skills guy, all tools guy, opposed to Marco Penge, who was another last second cut. I believe we were going to bet Marco Penge this entire week, and we did not end up doing it. Good
Yeah,
putter.
well said.
Nikolai, I don't believe he's one of the PGA Tour. He won of the DP World Tour a few times. No, he's not one of the PGA Tour. I think this is a good field, a good week, coming off good play for Nikolai to pick up that first win. He is my pick.
Yeah, I love that. And as we get into our next pick, it's someone that we were obviously hesitant on just because I think the age is a big restraint. But we are going to go with Adam Scott. We were able to get him boosted and the number that he was pre Scotty withdrawing, which is nice. Adam Scott hits the ball way too far for his age and also is great around the greens. So this course favors around the green play. It favors long distance, hardly favors driving accuracy. Little worried about the fact that he hasn't been contention besides once, and that one Sunday was a rough showing. But if Adam Scott's going to win an event for the rest of his career, it's going to be this one this week with the way he's playing. So that's really all I have on Scott. It's just a pick that it fit really well. It was a great piece. Like our card is crafted like an art. It
It's
is a
masterful.
puzzle. It is a puzzle that you have to put together, and we put together more correctly than most. So
Bet
Adam
on.
Scott was that final piece that we needed. So he's on the card. And we're going to another guy who's a little bit on the older
I
side.
Can I touch on one thing before we
Yeah,
move off Scott? Just I don't think it's talked about enough about how his distance is at an elite level. I mean, he was
elite. Oh, he's a bomber.
it's a heat like 188, 190 at the Genesis, where the Genesis I think is the most comparable tournament to what this week is going to be. Not usually, but just the way the rain made that golf course play. Those who played well at the Genesis are going to play well here. Adam Scott, T4, T6, something like that. The Genesis, it's going to be a good week for Scotty. The real Scotty, the OG Scotty.
Yeah, I completely agree. And we're going to another guy who's old, and Ryan can touch on him. But I think that Jaeger kind of had I spoiled it, but Steven Jaeger had a little bit of a later start to his career, and
Yeah.
now he's gotten his ball speed up, and he's competing with the younger guys,
He's a
and
former champion.
he is a former champion. And Scratch Gambler Diego Mays is a huge fan of Steven Yeager, one of his favorite
Why is
players.
that? He's boned us in
Because
the past.
I don't know, just like probably because we were on him all the time for those first few weeks,
Right when he
uh,
got into golf,
right when he
and
got into golf.
yeah,
Even
it's
though
kind
he
of like us
cost
with
us that
Spieth.
disgusting FRL, but um,
Not even the FRL, the Mexico Open last year, which is just another reason why he's won here at the Houston Open. The Mexico Open is really another accuracy. Could not mean less. Hit it as far as you can. It makes any putts, which he was making those putts on Thursday through Saturday. And one of the worst putting performances I've seen in a long time on Sunday, quite honestly and quite unfortunately. But yeah, Steven Yeager, it's really decent value, I believe. 60 to 1 for somebody who has won here before. It's a bomber. And when you're in these types of fields, it is kind of like I when I told Dylan the card yesterday who's going to begin tailing for the rest of the season.
big trouble.
When you're in it is big trouble. When you're in these fields, it is kind of throwing darts at a dartboard. And Steven Yeager, who played well last week, T7, he has a T5 at the Farmers Insurance Open, which is another course where you got to hit it far to have a chance at Torrey Pines, terrible golf course. Um, so, yeah, he spiked last week. Maybe he can get into a 2-week heater, 3-week heater, and we're taking advantage of that former champion. Not much more to add on Steven Yeager.
Yeah, I completely agree. Fun player to root for because he is he hits it far and he's pretty just steady with the wedges. I don't think his short game's anything crazy, but we are about to get into the part of the card where we're kind of just trying to hit or miss on the short game besides one of them, which
Steven
is
Yeager's
kind.
short game is his greatest feature.
Is it
FYI.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. That's fascinating.
Terrible accuracy. Just one of the worst
Yeah, no,
accurate
terrible. There's a
drivers of all
reason
time.
why he was on our Mexico Open card, which is a travesty to the PGA Tour. That course is on the road. But anyway, I digress. We're on to another man who hits the ball just a very, very long way. He's 105th in the Data Golf rankings, which is not ideal, but he did just play well last week, and that is Tony Finau. He is a winner on the PGA Tour, even though I consider him an overall loser. He's been way
He's
too
a
good.
great he's a great champion in these types of events.
I don't even know if I'd say that just because he's only won what, two of them?
No, no, no. You're forgetting like the 2021, 2020. for Tony Finau, where I think he racked up like 5 of these events.
Well, he won. I think he's only got three. No, he had the
No, no,
he had the Rocket Mortgage 3M back to back,
yeah, I
and
think he's
then
won the Mexico Open.
oh well, that
Yeah,
doesn't
he
count.
he has 6 PGA Tour wins.
All right, wow, that's I
Yeah, and they're really all from these types of events.
yeah, and he's starting to trend with the approach. He had a really bad week in Phoenix, but that was kind of an anomaly for this year. But the putter is what's really been something that's scared me for a long time with him, and he's starting to figure it out. He has lost strokes last two, but very minimally, and spiked at the Pebble Beach Pro Am where he finished 18th, where off the tee did not favor missing fairways. You can miss fairways here all week. So Tony Finau on the card. Um,
Not gonna lie, one last addition on Tony Finau. We agree with all of that. One of those wins, I'm just learning, at this course at the Houston Open.
did he really?
Yeah, in 20 when it was a fall event, so it plays a little
Oh,
differently, but
okay. Got
still,
you. Got you.
I think it was the
Um,
last year it was a fall event.
yeah, I don't think it was the same course, but it
No,
maybe
it was.
they played
It
it and they
was
played it in at Memorial Park like 1 year in the fall, I think 1 or 2 years. But was
the
that if that
first
was one
year.
of the years he won, then
Oh shit.
congrats to Finau. But next we're on to someone who's very actually like always been a sneaky popper. Like he hammers the ball. His swing's got incredible amount of torque. And that is Gary Woodland, and he's gained off the tee in like every event this season. Um, literally just need him to spike putting. Um, he's not great around the greens, but around the greens isn't that difficult this week. He hasn't gained yet this year, but it is important. You do have to get the ball up and down. So we're basically banking on his week last week approach
Finished
and
T2
his
here last year.
distance to find a spike. To find a spike with inside of 30 yards, which I think is very possible. And
I do think it's possible.
yeah, so
I think this
I'm
course
very
really
happy to
should
have Gary
play.
Woodland on the card. It would be a great story if he were to win this week.
This was really like I think the first or second wager we had locked in. Finished T2 here last year. 2 weeks
Great
in a row
course
he's playing really
history,
good golf. Yep.
even though it's not a very high on course history golf course. Um, that was enough
He
for us to see last week and be like, yeah, he hits the ball really far. He spikes with the putter, and he's going to be in deep contention. 94 to 1 is a steal. He's like 60 to 1 some places as well.
The next guy we have on the card, and we're going to talk about this all throughout the season, really, is there are just some guys and some cards and some sections of cards that we're not going to be that heavily involved with. And that's the mastermind behind it all, Elise, behind the scenes currently. This could be hilarious. Sudarshan Yelamajaru will be on the card. Everybody is falling in love with him. He did a piece with the Fried Egg the week of the Players, and that same week he finished T5 the Players, doubled his career earnings. Insane. I loved that stat. But he's played pretty decent golf otherwise. He finished T13 at the Sony Open. He's finished T17 at the Cognizant Classic. He finished T54 at the Phoenix Open, but he's making a lot of cuts. He only has one missed cut in 2026. His greatest attribute is driving distance. He could be spiking. Again, I don't have much to add on him. This is where I just fall back and trust the person who provided us with Nico Echeverria at
Yeah.
the Cognizant Classic, who provided us with Ricky Castillo at the Puerto Rico Open. We're going to get there. And we have one final outright wager who could be our favorite outright wager of the week.
There's just no. The thing that I love about this next guy is you know exactly what you're going to get through 6 holes. He's either leading the golf tournament through 6 holes and stays in contention all week, or he's 3 over through 6 and you don't have to worry about him and care about him. And you can kind of just toss those $21 away
It
and
could be
move
the
on to the
quickest
next.
FRL wager of all time on this guy.
Absolutely. I mean, he just thrives at golf courses where he's always, if he can just putt, which is a 50-50, even after you take the golf courses, if he has a good week putting at a golf course where you can hit the ball anywhere, he's guaranteed to be in contention, basically. I think he's got like 4 green boxes in the last year. One of them's a win, and the rest are like all outside the top 40. And that is Aldrich
Oh,
Potgieter.
he finished fifth at Riviera.
Yeah,
Again,
but
that's
again,
another
in the
thing.
last year,
Yeah.
he only has
Yeah.
four green boxes, and all of them were top tens,
Wow.
like in contention. Though
His
I guess
last
Genesis wasn't really contention, but
his last 9 starts, or I'll do 8 starts because one of them isn't really a real tournament. T9 at the Alfred Downhill Links. Cut American Express. Cut Farmers Insurance Open. Cut Phoenix Open. T60 at Pebble. Signature event with 70 guys. Fifth at the Genesis. Bomb and Gouge tournament that week. Cut at API. Cut at Players. A lot of cuts.
you know what you're
It's gonna be
getting.
a, it's gonna be a lot of big cuts off the tee this week that just penetrate the rough 30 yards off the middle of the fairway, and he'll be completely
Yeah.
fine. And it'll be further down than anybody else.
He's not a good chipper of the golf ball, but the problem is he just doesn't play the same golf course as everyone else if he putts well. He's always going to have 30 yards into some of the par fours, and that's just hilarious. I mean, we see it. We saw him do it in Mexico. So Aldrich Potgieter is always a must bet. He's always in the 100 to 1 range. He's 100 to 1 this week. He's a must bet on golf courses where driving accuracy doesn't matter because my God, does he spray the ball? But it just goes so far, and then he can just bomb and gouge. I don't even know if gouge is the right word at this golf course, but
No, it's bomb and
it's bomb and
bomb.
just
It's
play.
bomb.
It's bomb.
Bomb and go.
Yeah,
It's
bomb and
bomb and
go.
go.
So that's the card for you. We'll read them off again real quick. Knapp 26 to 1, Højgaard 33 to 1, Scott 50 to 1, Jaeger 60 to 1, Finau 66 to 1, Woodland and Yelman Yahoo 94 to 1, and Potgieter 100 to 1.
All of
Risking
those prices should still be available outside of Knapp and Højgaard, who were placed before
correct.
Scotty Scheffler was
Potgieter is
through.
on 365 at 100 to 1. Everywhere else he's like 70 or 80. So get that now. That's all we have for you this week. Risking 3.16 units to win around, each one wins around 20 to 21 units. So Grand Slam died last week, but I
Let's
think
get
it's
back on
time to
first
get
base.
back on
Let's
the
get back.
saddle.
Let's get on first base.
Yeah, back to first base. We'll see you this weekend with some content and some live videos, maybe if we have an outright in contention, and then a recap on Monday or Tuesday.
Or Sunday. We'll
Well
see you
said.
then.